dine. This is the voice of the patriot from the office of the patriot. And here we speak truth to power. Here we don't criticize, but if we must, we would only do it to build and not to destroy. That is why we keep saying we are in the service of God and country. We are not neutral on this show. We are actually on the side of the truth. We have taken sides. That is why we are called the headquarters of the truth. And today we have a number of issues we need to look at, and I need you to come along if you are ready. Now, the very first story we are looking at today is taken from My Joy Online. And it says, as I read, we can't keep 80 Chinese in jail and feed them. Deputy Interior Minister justifies deportation over prosecution. And I read, now Deputy Interior Minister Ebenezer Telabi has sparked intense public debate following comments on Joy News' PM Express, where he defended government's new approach to dealing with illegal mining suspects, especially foreign nationals, by prioritizing deportation over prosecution. Mr. Telabi's remarks come on the back of a directive by the Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak instructing the Inspector General of Police to immediately transfer all regional, divisional, and district police commanders stationed in mining areas. Now, the move is aimed at injecting fresh resolve into the fight against Galamsey, which many believe has stalled under the weight of effective leadership and entrenched interest. But it was the decision to deport foreign nationals that get caught in Galamsey operations, particularly Chinese citizens, without trial, that dominated the conversation. Let's be realistic, Telabi said. You arrest about 80 Chinese, and you have to find a place to keep them. And then sometimes even vehicles to take them to the court are a problem. You go to court, and they succeed in getting bail. He argued that the sheer logistical, legal, and financial burden of keeping foreign Galamsey suspects in Ghana's already overstretched prison system, has forced the government to consider what he called a more innovative path. We have another challenge at our prisons, he said. We are looking at 1,400 inmates we have now, and feeding them is even a problem. So if there's a way not to exacerbate the situation by sending them back to their home countries, I think I will opt for that. I'm sure by now President Mahama is so embarrassed with this Ministry of the Interior. Look at the level of thinking, mediocre thinking in that ministry. Mr. President, did you know that this was the level of brains you were putting in there? Listen to this kindergarten thinking. Listen to this mediocre thinking. What is the difference between these guys' logic and Osafu Mafu's illogical logic? Remember when Osafu Mafu told us that deporting Aisha Wang was a better option because jailing her will not add anything to the economy of Ghana. Yet, jailing our own citizens, sending them for lengthy jail terms, would add a lot to the economy of this nation. What a sick thinking. My brother, my sister, I think the Ministry of the Interior must be sanitized. In fact, it is time the president sent a whole team to go in there, rebaptize the whole ministry, and at the same time, my brother, my sister, fumigate every corner of the interior ministry. My brother, my sister, let's get into the thinking properly. A few days ago, Mustapha Mohammed, the Minister of the Interior, came out to tell us that he was prioritizing deportation over prosecution of foreign nationals engaged in Galamsey. He didn't give us any reason. Today, his deputy has come out to give us the reason, and the reason is unreasonable. We will send them away because we don't have any money to feed them. They are too many. In fact, we are ready. Hang them, my brother. If we succeed in hanging one or two of these Galamsey boys, the nation will be sanitized. My brother, in China, we don't do a quarter of what they do to us, and we get hanged. I said in China, we don't do a quarter of the things they do to us here, yet we get hanged in China. When was the last time you heard an African carried cocaine or any other such drug into China? Summarily, you are hanged if you are caught with one. Speedy trial, whether it's a kangaroo court or a cock court, maybe a squirrel court, because it's so fast, we could even say it's a leopard court or a cheetah court. We are hanged night and day because they prioritize their country over any other thing. But in our country, we claim we are diplomatic, but we are weak. How can you tell us that 80 Chinese people are arrested on the Galamsey pit, destroying our water bodies, and when we take them to court, they succeed in getting bail? Why don't you set up speedy courts for these guys? Not only Chinese, but a special Galamsey court, a fast-track Galamsey court, which runs 24 hours. After all, you are preaching a 24-hour economy. If we had a 24-hour Galamsey court, my brother, my sister, let's succeed in hanging one or two of these Galamsey guys. Galamsey will end immediately in Ghana. If you can sit back and watch Ghanaians being shot and killed during elections, if you can sit and watch Fana school children get drowned and almost nothing is said about it, stop the hypocrisy of saying you are deporting Chinese citizens all because you cannot feed them, but you can feed the Ghana ones and get them prosecuted and deal with them. I don't see what kind of illogical logic this is. It's a shame to the Ministry of in the Interior. It's a shame. It's a shame, my brother, my sister. Now, above all, listen to this important thing. All these people they claim to be deporting, they find their way back into the country within hours. We saw that at least from Aisha Wang. Look at the impunity with which Aisha Wang operated here. Journalists of so much credibility were able to prove to us how some Ghanaians were shot and killed in the Galamsey pit at the order of Aisha Wang. She became the poster kid, the poster girl for Galamsey in Ghana. Such impunity. They are still going to court left, right, and center. If this was China, she would have been hanged. Her children would be hanged. Her husband would be hanged. Her Pets would all be hanged, my brother, my sister. Yet we sit in the country here and pretend to be diplomatic, yet we are weak, weaker than carbonic acid. I am angry, my brother. Hi, our country first. Anybody who is not ready, my brother, my sister, to toe the lines of our nation. Remember, it is said, when you go to Rome, you don't do what the Chinese do. Neither do you do what the Indians do. You do what the Romans do. These are our laws. If you cannot abide by them, please leave. Should we sit down for 80 Chinese people to kill us? Water poisoning, all because we are getting some loans from China? Should we sit down and get killed, euthanized? Find out what that word means. My brother, my sister, by these Chinese guys on our fields right here in Ghana, killing us night and day, and some ministers who do not have the capacity to think properly are telling us, let us deport them. Deportation over prosecution. And the reason is that we can't feed them. I can feed them. I can feed them. After all, how much do you spend on Ghanaian prisoners a day? Stop the hypocrisy. 1 cedi 80 pesos is what you spend on a Ghanaian each day. I would come out and feed those Chinese guys. Please, I'm saying this on record. If your court systems are so slow, tortoise, snail slow, my brother, my sister, set up fast-track courts. 24-hour fast-track galamsey courts and deal with this menace. I don't buy it, my brother. It's so annoying. It looks like we are boogieing back into slavery. We are boogieing back into colonialism. We are boogieing back into foolishness. What's wrong with us? Listen to a minister, somebody who's been paid to think, is sleeping on the job. His boss is also sleeping on the job. President Mahama should be sacking these guys. And every other person in that ministry must be sacked immediately. In fact, they should send fumigators to go in there and fumigate the whole place and spray it with holy water from the Catholic Church to sanitize that demon that lives in there, making the people not to think. I am angry, my brother. Go around Ghana and see what is happening to our water bodies. We voted the Nana Akufo-Addo out of power because he was weak, very important when it came to protecting us and protecting our land. We did not expect that another Osafo Maafo would come and sit at the Interior Ministry and get a twin brother. Together, they are thinking the same slow kindergarten thinking. What a shame. I am mad and angry. What are you talking to us about? At the end of the month, these guys too take salary. For what? Not thinking? For what? Not thinking? Jesus have mercy. You are giving the people a free ride home for holiday. After the Chinese holiday of the dragon, they return to the country, and the stupid reason they give to you is that they miss their Ghanaian wives and husbands. Look at what Aisha Huang did to us. She was deported 3 times. She returned into the country 4 times. The last time we were told, she said that she was missing her Ghanaian husband, and therefore she came here for a quickie. Lord God have mercy. Are we a bunch of jokers in this country? When Aisha Huang left, what was next? Helena Huang came next. They are cousins. You know what she did? She was doing rosewood galamsey. Do you know what rosewood is? We got onto the map of infame. The map of whatever you want to call it. Al Jazeera reported how rosewood galamsey was rife in Ghana. Why? When I was a little boy, and this is no racist teaching, I'm speaking from the bottom of my heart. Anytime we saw Chinese people, we ran after them shouting, "Iya! Iya! Karat!" because we're watching Chinese movies. Today, children see Chinese and they don't see karat anymore. All they see is galamsey. Why? Please, Don't wait for anybody to kill us in this country. Chinese, Indian, Ghanaian, American, hey, Thai, whoever. Ghana first. I'll leave it here. The next thing I want to look at is taken from Ghana Web, and it says Ibrahim Mahama played no role during the arrest of Nigerian businessman. And this is Mustapha Gbande. He was on this show a couple of weeks ago. Deputy Director of Operations at the Presidency, Mustapha Gbande, has denied claims that Ibrahim Mahama, the brother of President Mahama, intervened in the matter involving Nigerian businessman Benedict Peters. Reports on Monday, April 7, 2025, suggested that national security operatives arrested Peters at the Aurora Apartments in Kanda, near the Jubilee House, following an intervention by Ibrahim Mahama. Now, the arrest took place during an operation led by Mustapha Gbande, after the businessman, along with some unidentified armed men, blocked the entrance to the residential facility with his vehicles, restricting free movements to residents. In an interview on Joy News, Mustapha Gbande emphasized that Ibrahim Mahama has no involvement in the resolution of the matter. The story that Ibrahim Mahama intervened is untrue. Many people live there, and Ibrahim Mahama heard about the disturbance because he's a resident. He drove straight to the location only to find us there. He called me outside, asked about the situation, and I explained to him. At that time, we were about to move Mr. Peters to the police station. He greeted Peters as they are friends, and then he drove off. Gbande explained. He also refuted reports suggesting that national security operatives were involved in restoring law and order. National security did not take part in this operation at all. As soon as we had arrested him, the regional police commander and the divisional police commander arrived and took over the matter. Jesus have mercy. Now the information I have is sketchy, so I'm going to be very tactful handling this. My brother, my sister, this is a Nigerian businessman called Benedict Peters. I hear he has naturalized as a Ghanaian, or is it that he has dual citizenships? And therefore, he's residing legally in this country. And from what we are reading here, he blocked the major route into the residence at Aurora Apartments, for whatever reason it was. And police had to come in and get him sent away. My brother, my sister, what is the occupation of this guy called Benedict Peters? We hear he's a businessman. What kind of business does he do? In Ghana, thieves, in order to hide what dirty things they do, they all tell you that they are businessmen. I'm not saying that Benedict Peters is a thief. No. All I am saying that the country that I live in, every thief is a businessman. But not every businessman is a thief. My brother, my sister, when they are in some kind of money laundering, some kind of dirty trade, they do not want anybody to know. They just say they are businessmen. And when you want to ask them exactly how they made their money or how they make their money, they start telling you cock and bull stories. Cock and bull stories. Some of them will tell you that, oh, they were scrap boys picking up pieces of scraps on the street. They traveled to England and sold those scraps. And then they went to America to sold those scraps. And today they are multi-billionaires. What cock and bull stories. Some of them would also tell you stories that will shock you, my brother, my sister. My brother, we were all here when some social media goons were going around advising young girls to be girls and ladies and not allow any man to bulldoze their way through. And that they were business people who made money on their own. Later we got to know that they were fraudulent people, stealing money from all old men in America and England, living lavishly on the back of retired old men, looking for some iota of love before they die. Such wicked people. And there are some people who support these dirty habits. Oh, they came here and colonized us. They came here and stole from us. Therefore, if we steal from them, it is okay. Oh my God. My brother, let us be most careful. If we allow our country to be used as the hub of money laundering, then we are in trouble. None of us will be respected across the world. We will not have visas given to us. We all have to pretend that we are South Africans or Angolans before we get visas to travel around, like some Nigerians were going through in the days of 419 and even now. Who is Benedict Peters? How did he get into the country? What business was he doing? What business is he doing now? I have very sketchy information, and I'm not going to venture into it till I finish with whatever investigation I am doing. Now, this is not what I really want to look at, but I think that I quickly will look at it. Yes, I'll look at it quickly. Now, there is this guy, my brother, my sister. All right. So this is from my Joy Online. It says, Flight Saga. Kwachi Ofosu isn't a liar. He only relayed what was given to him. And this is Opon Krumah speaking. And I read. Former Information Minister Kojo Opon Krumah has stated that the Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwachi Ofosu, did not lie in the matter of the suspicious flight saga, but only provided a piece of incorrect information based on the briefing he might have received. Speaking on how Mr. Kwachi Ofosu has been handling communications regarding the alleged suspicious flights linked to illicit drug trafficking and money laundering, he said Mr. Kwachi Ofosu was doing a very difficult work. Look at this Ahmed matter. I don't think he cooked up that story. I believe it was a brief he was given. I will defend my brother Felix any day that he is not a liar and that he is coming to sit there and lie. It is the information that was given him, and he has put out that information, and that information is not correct. He argued while discussing the case on Joy Prime's Prime Morning Show on Wednesday, that's today, April 9. He highlighted that government communication is a challenging task, drawing on his own experience as a former Minister of Information. The immediate past Minister for Works and Housing also explained that there is no way the minister could know whether the information he's briefed on is true or false, and therefore it is important not to view him as spreading false information about the development. Mr. Opon Krumah added that those who briefed him could have provided false information, and if that happens, how would he know? You are only a government spokesman, so you will mouth these words, and then people would say this guy is a liar. He emphasized Felix is doing a very difficult job. I wish him well. My brother, we are told that 2 aircrafts landed in Ghana from Gran Canaria in Spain. The first one arrived in Ghana. It broke down and therefore was waiting for refueling and repairs. They had to get a new tie. or maybe 2 new ties, maybe 3 new ties. My brother, my sister, and for that matter, these ambulance planes, in other words, they are not supposed to be carrying passengers, but just patients. First one landed, it had an issue, and therefore another one had to come in. The same type of ambulance plane flew in with the parts that it needed. After this one spent 5 days on our tarmac right here in Ghana. So, as to whether they fixed it or not, whether this was true or false, that is what is being discussed right now. One Reverend in Team Foggio was the one who went to the gallery with this information, and he was actually intimating drug deals. My brother, my sister, now hear me now. Watch this. The plane was finally fixed, according to them, and they said this plane was supposed to go through Luanda, which it did, and then came back. But according to Tim Foggio, and whatever facts he said he had, and that anybody could go online and check it out, the plane was tracked. It didn't go through Luanda. It came all the way from the same Gran Canaria in Spain. His point is this: Med Air is an American flight, and he has his hub in America. So if any repairs, any pass should be coming in, these pass should be coming from their hub in America and not in Spain, because according to him, there is no hub right there in Spain. My brother, my sister, this to me is not very convincing. What is convincing to me is, it was said that the plane went all the way to Luanda. Now, facts, according to this gentleman here called Reverend Tim Foggio, point to the direction that the plane never went through Luanda. It came directly from Gran Canaria, right there in Spain. My brother, my sister, as we are speaking right now, there is a press briefing, and Felix Owusu Kwache is speaking. I don't have any way to listen to this and get the updates, so I'm not going to go too much into this. But what I can say is this: if this Reverend Tim Foggio had any information of this magnitude about cocaine and drug trafficking, was it the best thing to go to the media and start making noise about it to make who unpopular? The party in power or the whole country? Sometimes we have to use discretion. Authorities could have been told this whilst you are waiting to get more information. And if you don't get more information, then we can say that you can now come out and spill the beans because they are not treating the information right. Americans will not do it like this. Imagine an American had tracked a plane, granted that it was even carrying cocaine and all that. You think that they will go to the gallery and be making all this noise? First thing they will do is to call 911. And 911 will deal with the right authorities to deal with this. But in our country, the first to get to the media is the hero. What a silly thought. Do you love your country? And this reverend is priding himself in the fact that he has a certain expose. At the end of the day, these are the people who call themselves honorables. Now, if your country becomes dishonorable, who are you, a little nitwit, to call yourself an honorable? Such a shame of an honorable. How can you be an honorable when your whole country is dishonored? You have already soiled the name of your country, that it is involved in some cocaine trafficking. It's a dirty country that is compromising cocaine trade. My brother, do you know the intensity of this disgrace? Should you go to the gallery with such pieces of information? My brother, my sister, do you know how many Colombians are blocked from traveling around the world, all because of their cocaine tag? All eyes are on Colombians in every airport they go to. If you have a name that ends in Rez, Ramirez, Suarez, Guterres, Gomez, Riquez, anything that has a Rez in it, my brother, my sister, all eyes are on you when you arrive at any airport. Dogs will search you, humans will search you, machines will search you, my brother, ghosts would even search you. Just because you are from a country that has a cocaine tag, Colombia. Today, Colombians, you don't see 2 million of them in Ghana. It's all because of this. We all remember Pablo Escobar and much more. Please, let's respect our country. Let's give our country that dignity and stop playing hero by going out with uncooked information, unreferenced information. It won't help anybody. They are just playing politics. If this was true, it could have been handled better. To God be the glory.